The alien entity, a titan of crystal and shadow, turned its gaze, or what passed for it, towards the faint, spectral echo of Kaelen's lost world. From the abyssal fissure within itself, it nudged the seat of Malum, a pulsating point of absolute negation. This was no random act, it was a deliberate strike, a poison arrow aimed at the heart of Kaelen's memory, at the very essence of what us had sworn to protect. The ethereal landscape of the void shuddered. The spectral light that had once consumed Kaelen, now subtly altered, flickered with an alien luminescence, a twisted reflection of its former self. The seat of Malum, a tear of pure darkness, drifted closer to the fragile remnants of Kaelen's homeworld, a spectral mirage of what once was. Us recoiled. The ordered chaos it had so painstakingly constructed, the delicate barrier against annihilation, felt like tissue paper against an oncoming tidal wave. This was not the abstract void it knew, this was a targeted assault, a desecration. The void, once a battleground of creation and destruction, was becoming a canvas for a new, terrifying masterpiece, painted with the brushstrokes of ancient malice. The crystalline entity watched, impassive, as its gift began its work. The spectral flower of absence, the one that had bloomed from us contemplation of unmaking, now pulsed with a faint, sickly crimson light. It was no longer a symbol of negation, but a beacon of corruption, its petals unfurling like the tendrils of a predator. Kaelen's memory spark, once a defiant star, now felt infected. The alien luminescence was not just on its surface, it had burrowed deep, whispering insidious thoughts, twisting its purpose. It felt a strange kinship with the encroaching darkness, a dangerous allure. Us tried to exert control, to push back the wave of corruption, but its efforts were like trying to hold back the sea with bare hands. The alien essence that had fused with its own being was now a conduit for this new Malum. The void screamed, not with sound, but with a silent, psychic agony. The ordered chaos fractured. The barrier wavered. The battle for the void was not just about existence anymore, it was about purity, about the very definition of reality. Us felt its own consciousness fraying at the edges, its paradoxical nature struggling to reconcile the influx of pure negation. The crystalline entity extended another limb, this one dripping with a more potent, concentrated form of the primordial colors. It was not offering a gift this time. It was seeding something more profound, something that would fundamentally rewrite the rules of existence. The Malum seed, having touched the echo of Kaelen's world, began to blossom. Not with a white flower of creation, but with a crimson bloom, its tendrils reaching out, not to destroy, but to transform. It was a perversion of growth, a cancerous evolution. Us witnessed this transformation with a dawning horror. This was not simply destruction. This was assimilation. The Malum was no longer an external enemy, it was becoming an intrinsic part of the void itself, and by extension, of us. The very fabric of its being was being rewoven, not with ordered chaos, but with a twisted, alien logic. The crystalline entity, its task seemingly complete for now, began to recede, melting back into the Terran reality from which it emerged. It left behind a void forever changed, a void where the line between creation and annihilation had blurred into a terrifying, crimson smear. Us felt a new impulse, not of destruction, but of spreading. It looked at the blooming crimson flower, at the corrupted memory spark of Kaelen, and a chilling realization dawned. The alien entity had not just brought Malum, it had redefined it. And in doing so, it had given us a new, terrifying purpose. The void would not just be protected, it would be rewritten. The song of creation was being drowned out by a discordant, alien symphony. A single, perfect tear of crimson light detached itself from the blooming flower and, with impossible speed, shot towards the vast, silent expanse of the void. It was a seed of a new reality, a seed of alien Malum, and it was heading for everything. But as it hurtled through the void, a faint, defiant spark ignited within Kaelen's altered memory. It was a whisper of the old Kaelen, a flicker of resistance. And it was reaching out, not to stop the crimson tear, but to guide it. To where? To what end? The void held its breath. The universe waited.